Daddy D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of BunnyRanch Podcast. I am your host, Alice Little, a legal sex worker at the world-famous Moonlight Bunny Ranch. This week, I have a very special guest, one that you already know and love and probably remember from the great old days of HBO Cat House. Today, I have the world-famous AirForceAmy.
Hi, Alice. Were those the old days?
I don't know about the good old days, but it's definitely been a time since HBO Cat House has been on air.
Actually, it was on air until November of last year. They pulled it from the late night airing because they decided not to go with the R rating or the adult rating any longer. So it actually was November of 2018 that it still aired.
Yeah, they actually took all of the content offline. So you figure if you have any of those HBO Cat House DVDs, they're now collectibles. Hold on tight to them because they are definitely collector's items.
Hey, and we do sell them on BunnyRanch.com in our store. And all you have to do is request on autographs. Suzette and myself and anyone else that was on the show. I don't think anyone else was here. We'll autograph them for you for sure.
So, Amy, you were telling me before that the most frequently asked question that you get is, Amy, how long have you been in the business?
Well, mostly the question I get from clients, because I do a lot of time in the parlor, on the floor, at the Bunny Ranch, and just mingling with the girls and mingling with the clients. And one of the most often questions asked is, how long have you been here? And I'll usually give something smart like, oh, this is about noon. And,
that's funny.
And I used to get kind of butthurt about it, thinking, oh my God, they're bringing, they're highlighting the fact that I've been here forever. And it was kind of my own shame until I embraced it, going, you know what? I came to the Bunny Ranch when I was maybe 30-something. And people then told me, you're too old. Oh. And the photographers told me, you're too old. And, that was 20 years ago. They were saying, you're too old, I can't use you. And I think I've created probably the most successful, long-running courtesan career in the history of mankind.
So, AirForceAmy with the T, tell us how it was.
Okay, so Dennis just didn't wake up one day and go, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to let the girls just go work shifts and go home and go to school and choose who they want to see and charge what they want to charge. No, it was after, I'm going to say headbutting, a little bit of headbutting.
It was a little bit of headbutting. Come on, it's okay.
We did have a really strong love-hate relationship because I fought for our rights so strongly. But then the most beautiful thing is that he listened.
It's true.
He listened.
And the industry changed. Not a lot of people realize this, but at one point in time, back in Nevada's past, when this was first legalized, there were no protections for the ladies. The ladies were required to stay on the premises 24/7. They weren't allowed to say no. They weren't allowed to choose, and it was really kind of a dark time. It was
like white slavery.
Yeah,
because I was there, girl.
Yeah,
okay.
not okay.
It was white slavery, and it was not okay. But the stories I have from those times are really good.
Oh my God! Okay, you've got to share one of the classic ones.
Girls Gone Wild in Lockdown.
Oh my God! Okay, let's hear a good one.
Right, okay, here's a good one. Mustang Ranch. On the weekends, we had payphones. We didn't have cell phones. We had a payphone, and we had a payphone booth. They did it at the Bunny Ranch too, but they turned our payphones off so that we couldn't call, or I didn't have family or love or boyfriends or husbands or pimps or things like that. But so that you couldn't call them and things couldn't happen at home, and you'd have a bad day and want to go home. So, and they also locked us down. And little do you know, the iron fence around the Bunny Ranch is actually the original iron fence that was put around the Mustang Ranch.
Oh my God, go figure.
Right? And I so vividly remember a girl wanting to get out so bad one night that she crawled over that fence and impaled herself.
Okay.
She was okay. But I myself, I used to sneak out. Okay. What we would do, they had this electric gate out back, and I'd take a stick and put it in the box, and the gate would open a little bit.
Oh,
okay.
Oh gosh.
And we'd sneak out. So we're all running across, and it was on this like farmland, and there were cows, and I'm running across this field one night, and I tripped over a cow. I scared the living heck out of me. Yeah, those are crazy stories. Lock some girls down and watch what happens.
That's crazy. No, I'm so glad that it's not that way anymore. Now we are so forward-thinking and feminist in this industry. Times have certainly changed.
And for the better, because we are really intelligent women and we have strong game plans and strong work ethics and we want to be successful in life, and we're business within the business, and to watch each and every girl flourish as a little businesswoman and the different, the creativity that we, especially you, the creativity that we come up with to further. When I started out, it was we were at the mercy of the guys that came through the door. We were at the mercy of the foot traffic, and that's why we were called ladies in waiting.
Oh, that makes sense. It makes sense.
We were
ladies waiting around,
waiting,
like, oh, what's
right?
going on?
So with the advent of the internet, we have less foot traffic, but now we do an online offsite business, and the opportunities and potential people that we can reach and the lives that we can touch is so immense. And then, so it's like, how can you retire? And how can you quit doing this when it just keeps flourishing and growing and get more creativity and there's more things to do and more ways to touch people and every single day and every year.
It really is true. People always look at me when I have three heads whenever I say that we save lives. Amy, just tell me, over the years, how many people have emailed you after an experience and said, thank you so much, you just saved my life?
Absolutely. I'd say as recent as 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was really lost myself. So I've been in that dark, isolated place where I was just here for the money, and my worth was only as much money as I made. And I had to come to grips with what am I, when the money's gone, if I'm not number one, I'm not making that money, who am I? What do I do? Why
still
am I
you.
here? No, you know what? It's the lives that I touch. And so many people that I do meet that are elderly, and they can tell me all these things that they did in their lives, but they don't have any friends right now. And they're lonely.
Loneliness
is
such an epidemic.
Kills. So for me, just to make more friends and connections, that's your big word, connections. And it's such a strong word to me on so many levels, because we make a connection through God. I work through God. I do God's work, and I get to do it in such an intimate way that no one else really gets to do. Just illegal sex,
really is.
just sex workers.
People
Therapists can't even get.
People always think it's sex, but no, it's love. It's making love to somebody, making them feel love, to learn how to love themselves. Oftentimes,
That's
even
the key. Feel loved and love yourself. You've got to love yourself. And
who is it? RuPaul? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else? Can I get an amen?
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Same
Yeah.
thing here at the ranch. It's
Yeah.
the same thing, and we're all about self-love.
Yeah. I just actually made a post today about back to the basics, dating with AirForceAmy.
Yes. For those who do not know, we actually have an amazing online forum that you're able to join and interact with the ladies. You can visit that at BunnyRanch.com/forum.
We call it a message board, but it's /forum. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a great place to get to know the ladies, learn about some of their different specials, see the pictures, and hear all about the cool events that we have right here at the Bunny Ranch. I mean, if you're looking for an excuse to come out to Nevada, I'm just saying there's no better excuse than a Bunny Ranch pool party.
A Bunny Ranch in summertime in northern Nevada.
And you know better than anyone how beautiful this area is.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Sometimes I would, would think the grass is greener. I'd rather be in Los Angeles and maybe try to play off my fame a little bit. But it takes me, say, 45 minutes to drive from my home in Dayton to Reno. And I look at the scenery and go, you know what? It could take me 45 minutes on the 405 in Los Angeles to get from Santa Monica.
Oh, Jesus. Just
Beverly,
to get from the grocery store to your front door.
You know,
like, that's 45 minutes with LA traffic.
And gridlocks. And, it's not like that. It's
God,
just,
it's
so
brutal.
beautiful here. It
yes,
is.
Yes. You figure here in Mound House, Nevada, we're situated right next to Carson City, which is in this most lush valley. We're surrounded by snow-covered mountains. There's a beautiful golf course right here in town, and some really great restaurants too.
People mistake that we're in the desert. We actually are situated just 30 miles south of Lake Tahoe, the most beautiful lake in the world, one of the most beautiful lakes in the world.
Seriously,
and we reside
incredible.
on Truckee River right here, so we have all the greenery.
Oh my gosh, it is such a lush little paradise. We're kind of an oasis. I mean, if you want like a dark, dirty desert, go to Vegas.
Right?
That's a desert.
They had to build that up. They had to put glam and glitz in there because there was
no one
nothing
else would go there.
There was no other reason to go.
Here it's just so scenic.
Although we do like to get out and
This
and
is
glam.
true.
We do like to get our glam on.
Okay, now I know you've got a crazy Vegas story.
Crazy Vegas story. Yeah. Yeah. Retired football player
Ooh.
had sued the Chicago Bears. Okay?
Dun, dun, dun. No names, we're all discreet here.
All right. I doubt if he's alive now.
Oh, bless him.
And he brought his entourage came with him, and we got in this long stretch Humvee limo.
Oh, the Hummer limos.
The Hummer limo.
Because that's great for the environment.
And this gentleman, he just was the meanest, nastiest, rudest drunk. It was so awful. There was four of us girls, and we were just living on Red Bull, right?
Oh, jeez.
And he's just drinking, and we'd be in bars, and he'd be like, "Go do that, busboy. Go get it." And I'd run over and do it, But it was the highest dollar dates. I have to tell you, the 1 million, the 2 million, the 3 million. They were like Survivor. They were the most difficult and most trying. So it's not, and that's a hard lesson to learn, that not all money is good money.
It's true. It's true. Knowing your limits and your boundaries in this industry and being able to keep firm on them is such an important life skill. And honestly, I think it's a skill that women in general have had to learn. You figure if we don't set and reaffirm boundaries, they're not going to be respected and maintained, especially as professional businesswomen in the sex industry. I mean, come on, this is the Me Too generation. You cannot believe the number of dick pics we get in our inbox each week. And no, that does not mean you can send us a dick pic. Please don't.
Well, I really get offended when guys, and I can tell they're younger guys, that they email me and say crude and lewd things. I want to do this, I don't think we can even say it on the podcast, can we?
No, not so much.
No.
Because you
but
figure...
and I'm like, okay, so did that make you feel really good? Or is it something that's generational, that they're on Twitter and social media and this is how they talk to each other? And I think it is. I think it's a problem with the youth that they disrespect women and such, because there's so much porn out there that there's such a disrespect for women now.
It's true. It has really changed over the years. You figure at one point in time, sliding into someone's DMs, not a thing. Like, do you remember when the dick pics first started? Like in the inbox, when that became a thing where people were sending dick pics back and forth?
That's a good question. I'll have to go through my emails.
I was like, I'm really curious. What was the peak year for dick pics? Was it 2008 or 2018?
My Apple calendar goes back to 2003. I'm gonna look.
I'm so curious. Which is the year of the dick pic? I've got to know. We need a whole history of dick pictures. I need to know for anthropological purposes.
And that doesn't bother me so much as that, I think it kind of has to do with what's trending in porn. When Max Hardcore was going at it, then it was all about spanking. And I'm like, if a guy spanks me out of nowhere, I'm going, what did I do wrong?
It's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That's actually something we need to talk about specifically in the negotiation. Because consent, consent is a thing.
But but the Max Hardcore days, and they saw the guys choking the girls and pulling their hair and smacking their butt.
No.
That's doesn't do it for me so much. I mean, if it's negotiated.
Hey, so long as it's safe, sane, and consensual, almost anything goes at the Bunny Ranch. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that before an encounter starts, we actually have the opportunity to sit down with our guests and have a negotiation where we go over the details of what we want to do, how long we want to spend together, any special activities we want to experience.
This reminds me of a story.
Oh boy, here we go.
I got a good story. Dennis used to say, and in his book he even put that I reminded him of his mother. I was so offended. Your mother. My mother was good looking. Your mother. Are you kidding me?
Well, they say men marry women that remind them of their mothers.
But here, I think I got it figured out. We were on the Top Booker cruise, okay? Mm-hmm. And there were 4 or 5 of us. And that was another survivor story. Some girls every port another girl was getting taken off the boat.
Oh,
no. But we're taking care of Dennis. And, we're going at it. And he put his hands around my neck. He was like choking me. And I remember he used to like to do that to Deanna. And he thought he could do it to me. And I hauled off and smacked him in the head. I mean, natural reaction. I whacked. Mm-hmm. You can't do that to me.
No, sir.
You can't do that to me. So I think, and I also remember him telling a story of his mother biffing him once for not standing up at the table while a lady got up to leave. So I think that's why I remind him of his mother, because I
gosh, that's really funny. But that's the best part of Dennis, is that he always had such a sense of humor about everything. Yeah. Like if he did something, he's like, oh, okay, my bad, oops. Like he never had any shame with it. He was just such a good guy.
So to round this back, let's bring this back full circle.
Mm-hmm.
God, rest in happiness and love, Dennis. And what I remember, and what most people remember about Dennis, is the way he was with people.
Yes.
Not the amount of money he made, not the stuff he had, not his cars, not his houses. People remember the man. Mm. So I just hope that when I pass, people remember the woman, the girl, the AirForceAmy Rasputin.
Well, I mean, you're certainly one of a kind. There is literally no one else on the planet like AirForceAmy. I mean, shoot, we can even talk about where the origin of the name comes from, AirForceAmy. What's the story behind the name?
That is another very frequently asked question.
It is. It's like almost a part of Bunny Ranch lore is the AirForceAmy name. Like, they go so hand in hand.
It goes like this. I worked at the Mustang for Joe Conforti. And then when we got shut down, actually, I was there when we had to work for the IRS, and none of us would book a party.
Okay, that's so funny.
Right? We're like, not so much. So I was there when they actually shut the whole operation down. So I went to work down south. And then 4 or 5 years later, because at that time, the Moonlight was not somewhere you went to work, even for a gal like me. At the end, I'm a pretty tough girl, military and all, and that wasn't somewhere you went. Dennis and Suzette and Dennis changed it to what it is today. Just a lovely place to work.
Because they purchased it, back in 1992, I want to say?
Yeah. That was exactly the time that I headed down south. So a few years later, and then... And while I worked at the Mustang, I had short red hair. And when I went down south, I changed my look considerably to be more of a blonde bombshell. So when I came to work for Dennis, I noticed that a lot of the clients that were coming into the Bunny Ranch were the same ones that used to go to the Mustang.
Of course, makes sense.
Right, because it's not too far away. So I wanted them to remember, and I would recognize them, but I wasn't so sure they would recognize me. So I wanted them to put 2 and 2 together. Had I spent any time with a gentleman, I would have said, my name's Amy. And they would have known I was in the military.
Oh yeah, it's a distinguishable trait.
So I mean, we would have talked, and things we've done. So I wanted them to put two and two together. That this is the Amy that was in the Air Force, AirForceAmy,
and it just kind of
it's stuck.
Stuck. I say it's stuck like hot glue. My God,
it's stuck. Yeah.
It's incredible. And over the years, it's amazing to see all of the powerful, positive images that you've put forward with the brand. It's really something impressive.
Oh, thank you.
It's true. I mean, you've had such an illustrious career. You're Bunny of the Decade. I mean, everyone knows who AirForceAmy is. They come into the ranch, they're like, oh my God, is that Amy? Oh my God, that's AirForceAmy.
Yeah, it's mostly like, I get a lot of recognition. A lot of guys, on the weekends mostly, and I come in just because if I had owned the ranch and I had Amy working for me, I'd appreciate if she was there to greet the tourists and give tours and be around. And it kind of not taking Dennis's place, but I spend a lot of time.
You're just as big of a figure as he was. Arguably, in the Cat House series, you were the most credited woman, were you not?
I think they liked. What's her name? See, you can't even remember her name, right?
Well, it goes to show you how much they like that girl.
Right? So,
seriously, I think you had like the most credits on IMDb or something from the series.
I don't even look at that stuff.
It's all good.
One thing I will embrace is that my name is synonymous to the Bunny Ranch, as like Domino's is to pizza.
It's true.
And so I feel it's my duty to perform as Dennis would, and as Suzette would appreciate.
It's true. It's true. Everybody loves Suzette, but we all know that she doesn't love to be in front of the camera. That's not where she shines the most. She's always been the heart and soul of the ranch. But in so many ways, you and Dennis, very much so, arm in arm, were the faces that would greet people. It just seems so fitting and right, you know?
I suppose.
It does. I was going to say, when people come by the Bunny Ranch, even if Amy is not there, the AirForceAmy Wall of Fame is something that is not to miss. Amy has done us the lovely favor of setting up some of her awards and certificates right there in the Bunny Ranch for everyone to walk past and enjoy.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I'm kind of proud of that plaque that I have with the 30 magazine credits, because as I said earlier, the photographers would come in 20 years ago and say, well, I can't use you, you're too old, I don't have a market for you.
Yeah, well, I can tell them where they can shove that certificate.
So what I would do, this is what I did, I would go through the adult magazines and the magazines and look at the credits and the photographer that shot that layout, and I'd go, oh, I like that. So I'd call him and he'd say, yeah, I can shoot you, but I don't have a market for you. I say, no, I want to pay for it and I want the rights. So every picture you see of me everywhere, I own the rights. Okay? And I would write an article and send it in with the photos.
Look at you little entrepreneur.
I didn't ask for giving away my secrets to
Alice. AirForceAmy here.
Okay, Alice is going to come out with 100 magazines here in the next year. Okay, because this is what I did.
No, it's brilliant though.
So
because you figure back in the day, no one wanted to talk to a sex worker. No one put a sex worker on a cover of a magazine. It was unheard of.
No,
you completely went into uncharted territory, conquered, and created a new standard. It's what you did.
So.
It's what you did. So. It's true. I mean,
I do hold standards. I do
set standards, raise the bar, hold the bar even higher.
And I'm kind of like a little house mom to the girls, a house marm, you know. And
are you kidding? Yeah, I look up to you. Are you kidding me, dude?
I don't consider you're appointment only, so it's not
dude,
like I
no.
Sometimes the girls are new and I'm the floor.
Amy, the whole thing is like, when I first got into this 3 years ago, and the first time we met, I was shaking like a leaf. I was shaking. I was like, oh my God, Sarah AirForceAmy. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, I hope she likes me. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And it was like, you're like a celebrity.
Cool?
You're bigger than life, and you were so cool.
Then wasn't I cool?
And I was like, oh my God, she's so down to earth.
People are so intimidated by me, and it's so unfounded. It's such a misnomer.
It's true. You're just such a down-to-earth, kind-hearted, wonderful human being.
Thank you. When I was in the military, I had a commander give me the best compliment I've held on to my whole life. He said that she has the ability to relate at all levels. And I said, you know what? That's true. That's why I came up with this Rasputin. I get along with, I can relate and I can dig in and just get into that vibe in this space with wherever someone else is coming from.
It's
You
true.
know,
You have
I
this
can
natural
I can lower-
talent for picking up on someone's energy and kind of giving it right back to them fivefold. Like, and
No,
you
I feel
raise
comfortable.
everybody up in the process too. Like, you figure you're just
Unless I don't like you.
and then in which case you just
You're out. Forget it.
But no, I mean, you are just such a wonderful, wonderful person.
Well,
to be
Alice, I have a
around.
million compliments for you too. You are what keeps me young and the the social media. Like I said, I was used to. I come from the day of foot traffic and I did pioneer a lot of the internet. I was the first with the message board and the first with first with a lot of things. And you just have expounded. I didn't get social media. I didn't understand it.
But you're on there now.
I just
You
started
can
posting on
find
Instagram last
Amy.
week.
Yes, you can find Amy on Instagram. The Air Force Amy. Seriously, follow her. Her Instagram feed is life. It's everything.
It was like I was up there for like 8 years because I wanted to grab the name because people steal my name all the
Oh,
time, even
constantly.
though it's trademarked. So I had like 8 pictures up there for 8 years, and now I'm all about it. I'm learning how to use collage and all these things. I'm like, I send pictures. Look, Suzanne, I'm doing like the young girls.
It's so it's awesome though. I love it. Seriously.
I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun with the social media. So yeah, follow me on the Air Force Amy at Instagram, Air Force Amy on Twitter, and I can put my naughty XXX pics up there too.
It's
On
true.
Twitter.
It's true.
My
Twitter doesn't
is-
like those, or Instagram doesn't like
No.
those.
My-
Twitter, on the
my Twitter
other
is
hand,
naughty because that's all I use Twitter for. I have a Twitter porn all day long.
let's
okay?
be real, you're a pervert. It's okay.
I'm a pervert.
It's okay. We're
I know
all
it.
perverts here.
And
It's fine.
I'm exploring new things that I never thought I would. Like on Twitter, it's like lactating nipples squirting while they're orgasming. I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a little much. That's right in your face.
You know,
Hello.
like, yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty crazy things on
I'm
Twitter.
like, oh yeah, that turns me on. I'm finding all these new things that turn me on. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
hot.
I could be into that. Is that my fetish? I think that's my
I
fetish.
can wrap my head around that. Yeah, cool.
It's the best part about you is that you dig everything. Nothing is weird to you.
No.
Before we go,
Yeah.
I don't like to use the word weird, but could you share with us a unique experience that you created for someone at the ranch?
Weird.
Or unique. We're not going to go with weird because it's not weird. You know, if it's consensual, it's all good.
Okay, pool toy guy.
Pool toys?
guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
what was that?
Okay, a gentleman comes in and I remember he like really was ripe. His odor was really ripe. And I remember standing in the lineup with the girls and said, oh my God, if he picks me. He picked me. And
Oh, boy.
we're in the room, we're doing, and he took a shower and he didn't really have that much time according to my standards. I was like, this is going to be 10 minutes.
We got to make something happen,
Okay.
and it's going to
You know.
happen now.
And nothing's happening. And he said, would you like me to go get my pool toy? And I didn't understand what he said. Would you like me to go out there? Can I go out to the truck and get my pool toy? And I didn't know what he said. I was like, yes, by all means, please go get whatever you need.
Sure. If you
Please.
need something to get off, sir, by all
Please.
means, please, let's bring it to the occasion because time is of the essence.
And I just needed to take a breather too and get my composure
Open a
back. I'm like,
window.
oh my gosh, okay. So he comes in and he's got this pool, like a dinosaur, a yellow round, like life preserver with the dinosaur head on it. It's a yellow pool toy. And he blows it up, and I figure he wants me to put it around my waist, and he's gonna do me from behind. So I put this thing around my waist.
Okay.
I bend over. He's gonna do me from. That's not working. So that's not working. He says, "Want me to show you how I do it?" And I'm like, "By all means, please."
Okay, how do you do it with the pool toy? Educate us.
Please show me how you do this.
Oh boy.
So he puts this pool toy on the floor, and he starts humping it,
Oh,
and
okay.
that exactly worked.
That's
I said, okay. So whenever
each their own.
Whenever I encounter anything really, unusual, I ask him, where did this come from? How did you start doing this? He said, I'm a long distance truck driver. I used to bring latex dolls with me, but they took too long to blow up, so I just use the pool toy now. Makes
All right.
sense to me.
That's hilarious. Fair enough.
Fair. Checks out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Bunny Ranch Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a 5-star rating on whatever listening platform you found us. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's going down at the Bunny